Alrighty, we are live. Welcome everybody to week number 7 of 10 of our UMP Hustlers. We're over here at Port Royal today for a 45 lap showdown. This is going to be the final week of round number 1. After this week, we're going to cut our playoff field down to from 12 drivers down to 10. It should be for an exciting week of racing. Give me 1 second. Alrighty, as we get caught up, let's go ahead and take a look at our qualifying field as of right now. Sitting in first place, it looks like we got the number 14 car of Ty Williams. Looks like Ty Williams is sitting with a qualifying time of a 19.14. Sitting about 1/100th behind him is going to be Brandon Marlowe in the number 37 car. Tristan Sykes is holding that third place position as of right now, but I think a lot of that's going to change as most of our drivers are on the track. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 96 car of Daniel Brady as he's making his times right now. He didn't register a time there. It looks like he is finishing his first lap right now as he comes across the white finish line. Colton Zimmer sitting in your pole position right now with the 19.06. Daniel Brady sitting in that 8th place spot as of right now. Looks like Jared Murphy in the 64 car is making his first appearance of the season. That is a driver. He did end up getting the invite, hadn't run all the way up to this point, so we were happy to have Jared out here tonight as he's sitting in that 7th place position after qualifying right now. Looks like he is about 2/10 off quick time. Stephen Gaines is going to be your pole sitter as of right now, as you got the 65 car, James Murphy, making laps as we speak. Like he is riding the top of the cushion going into the outside of each corner. That might be where the speed is. James Murphy sitting about a 10th off the lead right now. And another thing you got to look at between the 07 car of Stephen Gaines, honestly, all the way back to the last week's winner in the 11th place spot, Matt Fletcher. You're looking at about 2/10 of a second, specifically 0.23 hundredths of a second away. I mean, honestly, this is a pretty stacked field top to bottom. You really don't know who's going to come away with a win. Last week's winner is sitting at 11th, so I mean, honestly, at this point, anything can happen. Sitting on the pole right now is going to be the 07 car of Stephen Gaines. As we sit here and wait for qualifying to get finished up, who do you guys think is going to be this week's winner? I was way off last week. Matt Fletcher ended up getting it done. I tell you what, I honestly think anybody can win this race. I'm gonna be really random with this one. I think Dustin Price is going to get it done tonight. I think Dustin Price has a fast car. I think he's going to get it done. He's been very fast with us all season. This is his first actual season in here with us. So, really happy to have him here. And we'll get ready to get lined up for our first heat. As we sit here and wait for everybody to load in, let's go ahead and take a look at the lineup. Sitting in that first place spot in the NLRA Fusion Setup Shop Machine, the 07 car, Stephen Gaines. Sitting in your outside pole is going to be the 33 car, the NLRA Fusion Machine of Dustin Price. Sitting in that third place spot is going to be the number 51 car of Riedel Race Wraps, Jacob Lassiter. Sitting in your second row outside is going to be the 03 car with Vanderpool Construction and 25 Enterprise, Ty Williams. Sitting in that fifth place spot is going to be the NLRA Fusion Machine 99 car, Tristan Sykes. And rounding out our heat is going to be the NLRA Fusion car of number 26, Matt Fletcher. As you can see, this is going to be a heat of all NLRA cars other than I think two, Jacob Lassiter and Ty Williams. Let's see how that's going to fare. Got a lot of really strong competitors in that next heat as well. You got the Murphy brothers, Colton Zimmer, Grady Ernman. Next heat is going to be one to watch. Watch out, everybody. I think Stephen Gaines might have looked out a little bit as this one. There's still some tight competitors, but man, you got most of the top 5 sitting in that, or most of the top 8 sitting in that next heat. It's going to be very intense as we get ready to get lined up and wait for our pace truck to go around. For our A main tonight, we got a 45 lap showdown. 45 laps in tonight's A main. Track will not be resetting from the time we started practice today about 15-20 minutes ago all the way up to then, so we should be able to get a pretty run-in track, get some rubber in there on the ground, and this should make things really interesting, really racy for the night. We do not do the choose car anymore. Other than that, we do have the Wheel of Doom invert. We do an invert at the warm-up. We will decide what that invert will be, whether it be 2 cars, 4 cars, 6 cars, 8 cars, or a full field invert. I'll tell you what, some of them full field inverts are some of the most interesting things I've ever seen. It's going to be something to watch tonight. As we sit here and wait to get going, let's go ahead and thank some of our sponsors and who we work with every week. Of course, we want to thank Bender Designs, Troy's Auto Detailing, Hearts Racing Innovations, and of course, Regal Promotions. Everything all of those guys do, we appreciate everything. And all the other sponsors I might not be thinking of, we appreciate you guys as well. But other than that, we should be going 1 to green this time by. Port Royal is a lot longer track. I'm running out of stuff to talk about. Who do you guys think is going to win tonight? Like I said, I think Dustin Price is going to be the one to get it done, but he's sitting in that second place spot. He's got Stephen Gaines, one of his teammates, to worry about, and Stephen Gaines is your gatekeeper spot. As you can see, I got the points posted on the right side of the stream. Stephen Gaines is sitting in that 9th place spot. All the drivers marked in red are currently out if it ended right now. But let's go ahead and see how they line up as we watch Stephen Gaines as we're going to bring him around into turn number 3. There we go. Stephen Gaines going to lead him around turn 4 down the front stretch as we go green flag racing. Heck of a restart, or heck of a start by him, as Dustin Price is going to do everything he can to try to make up some ground, sitting in that 2nd place spot. Ty Williams trying to take over the 3rd place position over Jacob Lassiter. That outside line is looking like it's the preferred line as of right now. A lot of speed up there, as Jacob Lassiter is going to have to see what he can do to make his way back up in that single file line, as he's going to continue to lose positions as he rides the low line. Ty Williams going to take over that 3rd place spot as Matt Fletchel, last week's winner, he rounded out this heat starting on the tail, and he's starting to make up some ground. Already got around Tristan Sykes, and he's working on Jacob Lassiter, maybe even Ty Williams right now. Front of the field is still sitting at Stephen Gaines and Dustin Price, sitting about 1/2 of a second away from each other. All the racing's going on right here for 3rd between Matt Fletchel, Ty Williams, and Jacob Lassiter. Track is still very tacky at the moment. Not really much rubber laid down whatsoever as we're 4 laps made in our first heat. A lot of single file racing from this point forward. Let's go ahead and get caught back up with our leaders as Stephen Gaines in the 07 car into 33 at Dustin Price as we bring it around turn 2. Like I said, a lot of single file racing as of right now. Track is very tacky. We're just now starting to build a cushion toward the top at 3 and 4 as you can see them coming around right now. You're going to see those cars riding a lot closer to the wall as the A main comes around. A little bit over halfway of our first heat is complete. Got about 3 laps to go, 2 to go this time by. Biggest mover so far in this race, it looks like it's going to be the number 3 car of Ty Williams moving up 1 spot, and the 26 of Matt Fletchel has gained 2 positions as well. Tristan Sykes and Jacob Lassiter looks like the 2 that's going to be the drop. That's going to be big for Jacob Lassiter. He's sitting in that 7th place spot. He needs every heat point he can get. And Tristan Sykes, he's that gatekeeper sitting in that 8th spot. He needs every point he can get as well. But he hasn't got a top 3 or a top 5, but he has been very consistent, has managed to finish pretty much every race. And he's done pretty good, and I think everybody who's wanting to make that top 8 tonight needs to make sure to take care of their car, not be stupid, and get everything done. As you're bringing around 1 to go, Stephen Gaines is going to take him down the front stretch, and your winner for Heat 1 will be the 07 of Stephen Gaines. Dustin Price will get your second place position, and Ty Williams will round out your top 3. Matt Fletcher ended up making it up to 4th with the 51 of Jacob Lassiter rounding out your top 5, and Tristan Sykes will round out that heat. As we are waiting to get our second heat race lined up right now, let's go ahead and take a look at who's going to be starting in that one. Your pole sitter for heat number 2 is going to be the Twisted Speed number 65, James Murphy. Sitting in that second place position outside pole is going to be the 3-1 Designs Machine number 20 and last year's season champion, Colton Zimmer. Sitting in that third place car is going to be the Elite Chassis 96 machine of Daniel Brady. Sitting in that fourth place car, I can't talk today, Jesus. Sitting on the second row outside in that fourth place machine is going to be the Riedel Race Wraps 37 car of Brandon Marlowe. It looks like rounding out this heat is going to be the Twisted Speed number 64 car of Jared Murphy. I hear tires spinning, I hear dirt being thrown around. It looks like we're getting ready to go green, or getting ready to go around to go green. Let's go ahead and get caught back up with our leader. Chat, who do you guys think is going to win this race? I picked Dustin Price to win the feature. He ended up getting second in the heat, so I don't know if I would listen to anything I say. But I'll keep it simple. I'm going to go with James Murphy. He's a guy I pick almost every single week to win something. I feel like it's a pretty safe bet. He's sitting on the pole right now. I might have just jinxed him and he's going to the tail. Who knows? But we're getting ready to go 1 to green. Pace truck lights are out, and here we go. Never mind, they're not. I saw the pace truck lights out. I thought they were actually going 1 to green right here. Looks like as they come around this time, they're going 1 to green. We got 8 laps here to settle it for heat number 2. James Murphy, Colton Zimmer. It's a battle we've been watching for 2 seasons now, and we're going to get to watch it again in this heat. Who do you guys think is going to get it? I picked James Murphy, but you never know as he leads him around turn 4. There they go. James Murphy gets a pretty good start as he leads him down the front stretch as we go green flag. Colton Zimmer's going to stay on that outside line as they're going to go 1-2 going to the outside. Brandon Marlowe getting real high up there on the cushion. It's going to open the door for Daniel Brady to try to make a move on the inside as we're going 3 wide almost as Daniel Brady's making a move on the inside. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it, but it's looking like he might. I think he might have got cleared up on my Brandon. Maybe not. It looks like Brandon Marlowe still had a fighting chance on the outside. We're going to see a couple sliders and crossovers by these guys. Let's take a look at our front here. So we got the 20 car of Colton Zimmer trying to make a move on James Murphy. That's a battle we've been watching for 2 seasons now. That's your first and second place finishers for the UNPs and the Pro Late Models last season. And they've been fighting for multiple positions this season as well. James Murphy ended up coming out on top in the regular season. They both won 2 races, but James Murphy averaged a little bit better finish, got a little bit more points, and he was your regular season champion. But Colton Zimmer was last season's playoff champion, so I think I'd rather be the playoff champion, get the whole championship for the whole season, and get the money as well, and I think that's what James Murphy thinks too. He's trying to make up for it and get some redemption as we're 5 laps in the state lap heat. Looks like a little bit of contact. Colton Zimmer gets into the back of James Murphy and ends up getting into the outside wall. Looks like his modified is okay though as they're coming around. It looks like Colton Zimmer is only about 2/10 off. Other than that, Jared Murphy has made his way from the back to 3rd. Daniel Brady sitting in 4th, and Brandon Marlowe has cycled back to 5th. Lots of very hard racing going on right now in this second heat. Colton Zimmer doing everything he can to try to get around James Murphy. None of these cars are making a mistake. The first one to make a mistake, the other one's going to capitalize. Who's going to make up for it? Colton Zimmer gets into the wall a little bit right there, trying to do everything he can to carry as much speed on that top outside line. 65 car is going to have to be someone you make a mistake. Colton Zimmer trying to do everything he can. Looks like he might be throwing a slider. James Murphy still has the speed on the outside, and I think that might have sealed the deal as they take the white flag. Colton Zimmer's going to do everything he can, build as much speed as he can, coming through 1 and 2, and try to put a slider again in 3 and 4. Let's see if he can do it. He goes low, James goes high. James carries a lot of speed right there. He's pretty much already able to match him coming out the exit of 4. James Murphy's your heat number 2 winner. Colton Zimmer will bring it around in 2nd. Jared Murphy will come around in 3rd. Daniel Brady in 4th. And 5th place will be rounded out by the 37 of Brandon Marlowe. As we get ready for our feature, we're going to do the 4 wide salute as always, but let's go see what kind of invert we're doing this week.
Drivers, if you come to the backstretch, please, to line up for the 4 wide salute. Do not exit turn 3.
What kind of invert you doing?
We are inverting 4, boss.
4 car invert. Nice. You heard it, stream. Let's go ahead and get bounced back. Alright, got everything back up and going right now. We are doing a 4 car invert. So that is going to be Stephen Gaines, James Murphy, Dustin Price, and Colton Zimmer, who's affected by that. The A main is going to be Colton Zimmer on your pole position. Dustin Price, my pick to win the whole thing, sitting outside pole. James Murphy will be sitting 2nd row inside, and Stephen Gaines will be 2nd row outside. Other than that, it's going to be Ty Williams in 5th, Jared Murphy in 6th, the 26 of Matt Fletchel in 7th. Go ahead and get caught up here. 27 of Matt Fletchel in 7th, the 96 of Daniel Brady in 8th, Jacob Lassiter in the 51 in that 9th place spot, and rounding out your top 10 will be the 37 of Brandon Marlowe. But what are we lining up for right now? It's going to be a little bit smaller than it normally is, but we're doing our customary third-party gaming 4 wide salute. As always, we do this before every single race. We just want to thank all the fans and everybody that comes out, and we try to put a good show for you guys as well. Looks like our 4 wide salute is slightly dwindled from the beginning of the season. As we get closer and closer to the end, move through our playoffs, 4 wide salute ends up getting a little bit smaller and smaller. We do want to thank, like I said, everybody for coming out tonight as we get ready to finish up our season strong. 7 weeks in of our 10-week season. We're going to eliminate some drivers tonight, going from 12 to 8. Who do you guys think is going to get it done? As you can see, it's about 6 or 7 cars out here right now as they take it around. I'm going to go ahead and get a quick test session in 2 minutes. This track is really not that rubbered up. It's really not very slick. It's still a very tacky racetrack. I think it's going to be very hard racing in the end. Daniel Brady takes it into the front stretch of all cheeks. Matt Fletchel lets him. So you can see the cars going around on the outside. About 20 seconds left of our warm-up before we get ready for our 45-lap A main. Like I said, we are inverting the top 4, so as we get ready to get lined up, we'll go ahead and go over the starting order again. As always, we have dwindled out to our last few drivers as we are in the playoffs officially. So we're going to cut down from 12 drivers tonight to 8. Looks like a couple drivers didn't make it as they were already pretty much out of it. It was a win or you're out situation. All the top 12 playoff drivers will still receive payment as they've worked all season just to get to this point. But we're cutting the field from 12 to 8, and you're going to have the 8 best UMP drivers we could find battle it out for a pretty high stakes prize, going for over $200 for the winner for the season. And we're paying over $600 overall between the whole field. Like I said, we're inverting the top fours, so sitting in first place is going to be the number 20 car, Colton Zimmer. Sitting in that second place spot, my pick to win the whole entire thing tonight, the number 33 car, Dustin Price. Sitting in third is going to be the number 65 car of James Murphy. And sitting in fourth, your would have been pole sitter, but too bad there's an invert. Your Heat 1 winner, the 07 car of Stephen Gaines. The rest of our field will be as follows. Rounding out the top 5 is going to be the number 3 car of Ty Williams. Sitting in 6th place is going to be the 64 car of Jared Murphy. Sitting in 7th is going to be the 26 car of Matt Fletchell. Sitting in 8th is going to be the number 96 car of Daniel Brady. 9th place is going to be held by the 51 car of Jacob Lassiter. Rounding out your top 10 is going to be the number 37 car of Brandon Marlowe. Rounding out your field tonight is going to be the 99 car of Tristan Sykes. As we get ready to go around, I believe we're 2 to green at this point. Who do you guys think is going to win this race? I think there's so many top competitors, you really can't count anybody out. Colton Zimmer, last year's champion, is sitting in the front right now. Dustin Price has been a force all season, along with Stephen Gaines, 2 drivers who are new this season. They have really been doing everything they can. They've been something to prove, and I really can't count them out as well. James Murphy is the only other winner besides Colton Zimmer this year, and Matt Fletchell. He's been doing everything he can to get it done. He's sitting in that third place position. Really anything can happen at this point as we get ready to come around and go 1 to green. I can't wait to see this 45 lap feature. Alright, we are going 1 to green right now as Colton Zimmer brings him around going into turn 4. It's his green. He can go whenever he wants, and he picks right then. He gets a heck of a start, gets around Dustin Price on the outside, and he leads him down the front stretch. Green flag racing in week 7 of our UMP Hustlers. Dustin Price going to try to make some ground on the inside. Let's see if he's able to make it work. Sorry for the bad camera views. We got some 3 wide racing going on right behind him. James Murphy trying to do what he can to make it around on the inside. Dustin Price is able to throw the slider. I believe he is going to be your new race leader, leading lap 1 of our 45 lapper. Colton Zimmer still sitting on the outside in second place. I told you guys, Dustin Price was my pick. He's found a lot of speed. It seems like he's definitely taking advantage of this tacky track, as everybody else might have played it off for a little bit slicker setup, a little bit more rubber or speed. It looks like the 07 might have got into the wall a little bit. He was able to make it back onto the track. That's going to be the 07 of Stephen Gaines sitting in your 5th place spot. Stephen Gaines sitting 9th in points right now. He's one of those drivers that really needs to have a good showing today. I think he's going to have a good opportunity to potentially take over Tristan Sykes' spot, maybe even make a move on Jacob Lassiter, as they're not having the best performance right now, sitting in 8th and 10th. But you never know. We're only 4 laps in. We got 41 laps to go in tonight's A main, as Stephen Gaines is making a heck of a run on the outside. Dustin Price is still going to be your leader as of right now, sitting in that number 33 car, that red, white, gold machine. Almost looks like a popcorn bucket. His teammate Stephen Gaines doing everything he can to try to make the outside work, as Colton Zimmer in that 20 car sitting right behind him. Number 33 though, Dustin Price, is going to keep leading them around. Ooh, little bit of contact on that inside wall. It looks like Stephen Gaines is going to make it around him. He's going to lead lap number 6. That'll be his first lap led of the night. Stephen Gaines leading them around on that outside line. Top 3 are going to be riding the outside of Stephen Gaines, Dustin Price, and Colton Zimmer. James Murphy trying to do what he can to make that inside line work, and you got Ty Williams rounding out your top 5. Take a look at some of the racing going on in the back, because you got Ty Williams, Daniel Brady, Matt Fletchell, and Jacob Lassiter all fighting for that 5th place spot. 2x2 racing as we got going on. And Dustin Price has a battle going on for the lead right now as we take a look at that. Looks like a little bit of contact potentially under the inside wall. The 07 is Stephen Gaines trying to make something happen, take advantage of that. Colton Zimmer would love for them both to have some contact to slow down. He'd take both of them in one turn. A lot of rubber starting to lay down on that track. Like I said, compared to that first heat to right now, those drivers are making their way closer and closer to that outside wall. That cushion's starting to get built. This is going to become a 2-lane track. Single file racing right now. 9 laps in of our 45-lap feature. Stephen Gaines, Colton Zimmer, and Dustin Price are going to be your top 3 as of right now. Colton Zimmer trying to do everything he can. He's really made up a lot of ground sitting in that 2nd place spot. He was your leader for a while, but Dustin Price took it, and Stephen Gaines ended up getting around both of them. So Colton Zimmer, he may be trying to reel him in. He may be trying to hold off and just get some more laps down. We got a lot of time left, 35 laps to go. Racing going on in that 4th place spot. You got Ty Williams and James Murphy, the 65 and the 3 car going right now. That outside line seems to be the preferred line. James Murphy's starting to fall back a little bit, but like I said, he also could be saving a little bit. We got 35, 34 laps to go. These drivers could be burning a lot of their tires, and one good caution comes out, they bunch them all together, and anything can happen. 5th place, like I said, will be James Murphy, and sitting in that 6th place spot is going to be the 26 car of Matt Fletchell. A little bit of racing going on right behind them as we got the 96 car of Daniel Brady and the 51 car of Jacob Lassiter trying to make up a little bit of ground on that inside line to take that 7th place position. Outside of him, we got the 64 of Jared Murphy going behind them, going 2x2, and the 37 car of Brandon Marlowe rounding out the field. The 99 car of Tristan Sykes is currently sitting in the pits right now as we get caught back up with our leaders. The 07 is Stephen Gaines leading them down the front stretch, 14 laps completed. A lot of rubber starting to get laid down on the entrance of those corners. As you guys can see, the track's starting to get a little bit shinier. A little more throttle control is going to have to come into play. A lot of tight racing, I think, is going to come in. It looks like Colton Zimmer got a little bit loose on the entry of turn 1. Maybe a little bit of influence was involved in that. Not exactly sure. Didn't quite see it. Colton Zimmer retains position in 2nd. Ty Williams, as you saw him just get around James Murphy in the 65, doing everything he can to try to make his way in the top 3. Sitting in that 4th place position, he's trying to make a move on Dustin Price right now. A lot of hard racing, as you can see. Ty Williams in that 3 car trying to get around the 33 at Dustin Price, but he's got to do it quickly because James Murphy's coming right behind him, and if he can get around him quick enough, he might be able to make a move on the leaders. As Dustin Price makes contact into the wall, I think he might have checked up instead of making a move inside. Dustin Price doing everything he can to get away from the 3 car of Ty Williams while catching the 20 of Colton Zimmer. Single file racing 1st through 4th right now. Is everybody doing everything they can to make a move on somebody, get enough speed on exit, and throw that slider in the next corner. Colton Zimmer and Ty Williams both go for the slider. It looked like essentially at the same time. That inside line's just not got the speed they need to make it happen. I think they're going to have to burn the outside line a little bit more to get that done the way they want to. I don't want to assume anything, but I think that's going to confirm our 12th place finisher or 11th place finisher for this season. It's going to be the number 99 car of Tristan Sykes. Looks like he's been in the pit for a few laps now, so unless he's able to make something pretty incredible happen, I think Tristan Sykes is going to end up potentially placing the 11th or 10th place position. I think he's going to end up losing a spot and unfortunately not making it in round 2. But you know what that means. Someone like Stephen Gaines, someone like Daniel Brady, someone like Brandon Marlowe might be able to take advantage of that. All three of those cars are on the track. Stephen Gaines in first, Brandon Marlowe in ninth, and who was the other one? Daniel Brady in that 8th place position. So really anything can happen here. Single file racing, 22 laps in. Colton Zimmer still trying to see if he can make a move, or there might be a little bit of contact, not sure. Everybody's able to get checked back up as we're 23 laps in. Stephen Gaines throwing that slider line, trying to cut off a little bit of speed maybe by Zimmer. Zimmer gets a lot of speed going on that outside line. He's going to throw it inside. He's going to throw a slider himself for the lead. Who's going to get it? Zimmer got a good run coming on that exit. He might be able to lead this lap. Stephen Gaines kept it, but by the hair of his teeth. Colton Zimmer sitting in that 2nd place spot, but Stephen Gaines got a great exit coming out of turn 2. Dustin Price sitting in that 3rd place position, waiting for one of those cars to make a mistake, and he's going to try to take advantage. He's still got Ty Williams in that 3 car battling him, trying to do everything he can to take the spot. Stephen Gaines comes in for the slider. Colton Zimmer is going to lead that lap, but I think Stephen Gaines is going to lead him out of turn 2. Colton Zimmer comes back for a slider of his own, and Stephen Gaines going to cross him and get around in time. A little bit of contact by Colton. Are they able to get around? Colton Zimmer is going to lead him around that lap. Looks like contact into the wall. Both drivers had contact into the wall. Dustin Price trying to do everything he can to take advantage. Looks like those cars are almost bouncing on the track right now. Someone needs to call the shot guy for them. And Stephen Gaines has contact going into the turn at 3 and 4. That's able to give Colton Zimmer a chance to get a little bit of a lead. Gaines doing everything he can to try to make up some room coming back. Dustin Price sitting in that 3rd place position, trying to make up some ground as well, as it looks like Ty Williams might have fallen off a little bit, and James Murphy just threw a slider to get around Ty Williams for that 4th place spot. Like I said earlier, I think James was saving a little bit of tires, trying to do everything he can to get around Colton in the end. I think he knew what was coming, and he just had to keep him in an orange lane. James Murphy just drove around Ty Williams right there on the backstretch. A lot of hard racing as we get caught back up with our top 3. It's going to be Colton Zimmer still sitting in that 1st place position with Stephen Gaines and Dustin Price right behind him. James Murphy is a car you keep an eye on. He's sitting about 1.9, 1.8 seconds back. I bet you that's going to drop severely here in the next couple laps. $16 laps to go of our 45-lap A main here at Port Royal for our UMP Hustlers. This is going to be the last race of round 1 as we get ready to go into round 2. Cutting our field with 12 drivers down to 8 as Colton Zimmer in the 20 car is going to be leading them around to the back stretch, coming to the front stretch, exit of 4, coming around to the checkered flag right now, or not checkered flag, the finish line right now, 15 laps to go. Dustin Price throwing a slider on his teammate right now, Stephen Gaines, to try to take that 2nd place spot. I don't know how much both of those two should be fighting, as they should be trying to catch the number 20 car of Colton Zimmer. But listen, guys, there was a car I was talking about to take a look at his times. I think he might be catching up. Never mind, he's sitting about 1.8, 1.7 seconds. I think James Murphy still has some time to make some ground up. I've seen him get as close to about a second and a half coming to the exit of some of these turns. We've seen our top 4, rounding out our top 5 as of right now. It's going to be the 3 car of Ty Williams, the 26 of Matt Fletchel sitting in that 6th place spot. Taking a look at the 51 of Jacob Lassiter, he's going to be sitting in 7th. The 96 of Daniel Brady will be sitting in that 8th place spot. At 9th place will be the 37 of Brandon Marlowe. Stephen Gaines gets into the outside wall. I don't know if his car is okay or not. Let's see if we can get a better view of that one. Looks like he got on the outside wall again. He might be able to keep it going. Could be some damage on that modified, it looks like. Looks like at least the right rear of that modified is bent up pretty good. James Murphy doing everything he can in that 65 car, trying to get around the 07 and seeing if he can catch up to Dustin Price and Colton Zimmer. James Murphy gets into the outside wall, so does Steven Gaines. Looks like James is going to clear him this time, throwing the slider. Does he get a good exit? Steven Gaines gets a heck of an exit, heck of a roll coming out of 4. But it ain't going to be enough. James Murphy's going to pass him. He's going to take 3rd place. Like I said, that's a car you got to keep an eye on. James Murphy, he's doing everything he can to try to catch up to Zimmer. All he needs is that air and caution we've been talking about for so long now. It could happen at any time. Our leaders over the past 35 laps are only separated anywhere from 1st through 8th is separated by about 7 seconds. Honestly, it's a pretty tight field if you think about it top to bottom. 1st all the way down to 4th is separated by about 1 to 2 seconds at any given point. Get caught back up with our leaders right now. The number 20 car of Colton Zimmer is going to be your leader with 7 laps to go. Dustin Price was my pick to win the whole thing tonight. He's sitting about a half second back. I don't know if he's going to have enough time to make something happen, but he's doing everything he can. 6 laps to go this time by, sitting about a half second back. It's going to be a battle between these two, I think, for the win. I don't think James Murphy's going to have enough time to catch up and make something happen. Colton Zimmer gets into the wall. Dustin Price, I don't know if he got into the wall as well. Murphy, holy crap, I say one thing and he's right back on his bumper. Murphy's coming for 2nd. Five laps to go this time by. Murphy's coming with a vengeance. He throws the slider. I don't know if there was contact. He gets around though, I think. I don't know if Dustin Price will have a good exit. Dustin Price, I think, is going to throw a slider of his own. James Murphy's going to see if he can get around him. Don't know if he's going to be able to do it. Dustin Price stays low. James Murphy goes high. 2x2 racing. James Murphy doing everything he can to try to get around. It looks like he finally got into the wall, had a little bit of contact too. Everybody's been kind of at the mercy at the exit of 2 and the exit of 4. That outside wall has been doing a lot of damage to these modifieds. I would say there's a few $1,000s in aluminum and sheet metal going to be fabricated this week as we are 2 laps to go this time by. I don't want to take too much time away from Colton Zimmer. He's deserved it as our leader, as you can see him ahead there. But the only racing we got going on the track right now, it looks like it's going to be for 2nd place and a little bit of racing going on the back. 2 laps to go this time by to 33 and the 65 battling for 2nd. The 65 car, James Murphy doing everything he can to try to make something happen on that outside line. The 33 at Dustin Price doing everything he can to fight for position as we're coming around to the white flag this time. As we take a look at your leader, Colton Zimmer is going to take the white flag, doing everything he can to try to get his 3rd win of the season, 1st win of the playoffs, and get a great start going in the round 2. Get ready to potentially repeat as season champion. He's had a heck of a season. Now it's going to be 3 wins, 3 top 3s, 3 top 5s. If Colton Zimmer's had a good race, he's taking it home. Colton Zimmer with your checkered week 7. 2nd place is going to be the 65 car of James Murphy, and 3rd will be the 33 car of Dustin Price. So we'll go ahead and get them lined up. They're going to go ahead and get ready to get their picture. Of course, we're going to have our customary interviews with the top 3 as well. So go ahead and give me about 2 minutes. I'll go ahead and bring them into the Discord chat, and we'll go ahead and talk with them. Alright, there we go. Go ahead and pause the stream for a second and let me go ahead and bring those drivers in here. Alright, I got everything muted. Everybody can talk freely for a second. I'm just waiting on Dustin.
Good race, Colton.
Good race.
Not my culture. That's Jared. That's Ty. Alright, he's not going to join. Alright. Well, you two have probably done these interviews more than anybody else in this Discord, so you already know how this is going to go probably better than anybody. Um, Other than that, well, I blindly got you in here. I'll tell you guys more about the Regal race here shortly, but I was going to let both of you know that Third Party Gaming will be sponsoring you guys if you want to enter it, as well as the top 8 for Regal's versus 3PG's second Challenge Series race. If you don't happen to know what it is a I'd have to check specifically, but it's a UMP modified race on the 7th with $200 between the top 5. But other than that, I'll send you guys info on that. I just need to know officially if you guys want in or out, since we'll be paying for the entry.
Yeah, I'm down to do it.
Yeah, I'm down.
The only other thing we'll ask, since we're sponsoring the entry, we just asked you throw our 3PG logo somewhere. As James could probably explain, I'm not asking for a big fancy spot. You could just don't make it like 1 pixel and put it somewhere stupid. You know what I mean? But I ain't asking for much. Other than that, that's all we really ask on that. But I'll get the interview going so we can get everybody out of here. I paid you both 1,000,000 times, so I'll pay out both of you here very shortly after. All right. Alright, everybody, we are back. Sorry for the delay. We're only going to have our top 2 finishers for the night. Looks like our 3rd place finisher, Dustin Price, is a little bit under the weather. Very impressive win for him in that 33 machine, very impressive podium finish in that 33 machine. While under the weather, it's going to be Dustin Price. Let's go ahead and skip to the number 65 car of James Murphy. He's going to be your 2nd place finisher. James, I feel like I've talked to you 1,000,000 times, almost like our winner here. Got to be a great start going into 2nd. It's a shame that you didn't start in the front row, because that car looked pretty fast. Were you saving tires, or was that just a heck of a starting kind of start there, going from 2nd, I think, to 3rd, and getting shuffled back?
Yeah, I took off and started trying to save some tire, and they all went to the top pretty quick, and I thought it was too early, and I waited too long, and they was just too far out there for me to catch them.
Yeah, it was something I clearly called out on the broadcast. I remember watching, I think it was the top 5 just sitting on the outside. I was like, James Murphy's sitting on the inside. He's saving tires. And I think it was about lap 35, 36. You see you coming around on the outside. Heck of a run for you, though. It's definitely start to finish. You got any sponsors you'd like to thank?
Thank y'all for all the stuff you do, and everybody at Twisted Speed, League Outlaws, TEC, Equipment Windows, and Talking Dirt.
Perfect. And that's going to be the number 65 car, your 2nd place finisher tonight, and one of the cars making it to round 2 of our playoffs, James Murphy. And moving on to our winner, another car that I've seen and talked to many times, last year's season champion, as well as your believe, yeah, you're 3-time winner this season, and now you're leading the season in wins. The number 20 car of Colton Zimmer. Colton, it's got to seem pretty impressive. I mean, with the exception of you and James Murphy, is there any competition left for you, or is it just you and James at this point?
Yeah, the NLRA guys are pretty tough to beat every week, but yeah, me and James, we've definitely had to battle, especially last season during the championship race. That was a fun battle, but yeah, I think we're gonna have to worry about, Steve and Dustin and some of them, and then plus James as well going into the round of 8.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I've commented multiple times. A lot of the rookies here, Stephen Gaines, Dustin Price, some of those other NLRA cars like Matt Fletchell, not even a playoff driver, getting a win last season. They're very strong. But if you look at our if you look at our point standings, I got it posted right here. The wins, top threes, and top fives are consistently held by you two. So I tell you what, I can't wait to see you guys battle going into the championship. How do you guys, or bleh, what was I going to say? I'm so sorry, I blanked out. How do you guys feel about the championship being potentially at Fairbury this year? Any concerns with it not being Eldora?
Fairbury would definitely be tough to pass, so you got to get a good starting spot there. But I think it'd make for a fun race. Probably it'll probably be a challenge, which that'll be pretty fun as long as you're not starting in the back. But yeah, I'm feeling good going into the second half of the playoffs. Really, I've had like 2 bad races, but the other races where I haven't done bad, we've been really good and had really strong runs. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you've definitely had a very strong car, especially if you're able to finish. It seems like you're pretty much in the top 3 or towards the front. So it's been definitely a good run, good season for you guys as well. Want to go ahead and thank your sponsors?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Magility Speed Shop, Sweet Victory Apparel, Victory Seats, just everyone who helps me out and keeps this 20 machine rolling.
Perfect. And that's going to be your number 20 car and your winner tonight for week 7 of your UMP Hustlers, Colton Zimmer. Thank you guys. I'll get you guys moved and I'll take care of payouts for you shortly. Alright, everybody, we'll go ahead and get everything wrapped up tonight. What is next? We got our round 2 starting next week. We got I-55 Federated. We're heading over to Peevely, Missouri. I'll go ahead and get our top 8 posted here shortly. We got to review any potential penalties and anything like that with race control here shortly. Dustin Price, you're right. It was a great night of racing. And I tell you what, for someone being under the weather, heck of a race, brother, for getting 3rd place in that 33 car representing NLRA for you guys. It was a very good race top to bottom. I'm very excited to see what comes out next week. We'll have to go ahead and get the points posted out here shortly, but I just want to congratulate Colton Zimmer, James Murphy, and Dustin Price. Pending any penalties, it looks like all of you guys have made it to round 2, and I just got to check on the rest of the drivers, and we'll get that announced for everybody. Like I said, next week we bring it out to I-55. We're going to Peevely, Missouri, and that's going to be a showdown starting out round number 2. After a 2-week series, we're cutting our drivers from 8 down to 4, going into championship night for a 100 lapper at Fairbury. I'll see you then.